Norwegian researchers want to bring back LSD. A pair of married scientists at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology has founded a psychedelics advocacy group, EmmaSofia. Its goal is to reverse the drug wars of the 1960s and remove the stigma around LSD and psychedelics. One half of the couple, Teri Krebs, joins me now. Good to see you, Teri. What's good about LSD?
Delighted to be here. Thank you. Over the past 50 years, people have used around 500 million doses of LSD and related psychedelics like psychedelic mushrooms. So we have vast human experience with these substances. And we now know that they're not particularly dangerous. The risks are comparable to activities considered to have acceptable safety. Lots of people in clinical trials and also just in personal testimony, many people report that psychedelic drugs like LSD induce intensely meaningful, even spiritually meaningful experiences that allow them to have a new perspective on themselves and on the universe, to think about their problems, and to have a new approach to life.
Do you suspect, though, that that's also part of the rationale for prohibition? I mean, the war on drugs is not just about protecting people from potential harm. It comes from some kind of, I don't know, perhaps puritanical, but certainly deep sense that tinkering with one's consciousness is a moral wrong.
It's a very interesting question. In 2006, the U.S. Supreme Court heard a case from a church group in the United States which uses a psychedelic drug called ayahuasca, which has very similar effects to LSD. And many mainstream religious organizations wrote letters to the U.S. Supreme Court saying that that people should be allowed to use psychedelics in a spiritual setting, and if the government wants to ban it, they have to show actual evidence of harm. And so this included Catholic organizations, Baptists, evangelical Christian organizations, also Muslim and Hindu and Buddhist organizations wrote letters to the Supreme Court saying this. When you look back in the 60s, the main opponents to psychedelics were some psychiatrists, a small number of psychiatrists who had a sort of a Freudian Marxist approach where they really seem to be opposed to religion or spirituality in general. So what they saw as a sort of anti-scientific. So today, within psychiatry and amongst the general public, there's much greater acceptance for meditation and for the sort of personal development, self-exploration, and self-expression. Back in the 60s, 50 years ago, it was a long time ago. I mean, if you were gay, you were expected to just hide. You're expected to conform to society. And today we have a really different approach where people are really encouraged to express themselves and to be themselves.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but there are ayahuasca parties in Brooklyn and in Hollywood, which is becoming reasonably popular, even in the United States, where it's not yet illegal. If you had your way, how would people be consuming psychedelics and LSD? Would it be completely legalized and completely normalized, or would there be some kind of forum in which it takes place?
I think my husband, Paul Johansson, was recently profiled in one of the largest newspapers here in Norway. And he describes that when he started taking magic mushrooms, he took them every week for a year in his cabin in the woods. So I think that should be allowed. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not saying that I would necessarily recommend doing that, it's probably better to be with other people.
Got it.
So if you look in the Netherlands, you can go to a shop and buy psychedelic mushrooms if you're over 18. And the data suggests from the Netherlands, from the health authorities in the Netherlands, that emergency room visits and injuries related to mushrooms are really rare. It doesn't seem to be a problem. They don't recommend banning mushrooms there. There's a lot of different possibilities for regulation.
Teri, thanks for your time. Good luck with it. Workers at a supermarket